How's it going, everyone? The PlayStation Store's winter sale is running right now. Holiday sale, winter sale, whatever you want to call it. It is the holiday sale. A lot of sales running, a lot of different names, and we're going to be going over some of the more expensive deals. Now, these are deals over $20. As I always say, but I feel like it's important to reiterate, if you are buying any game over the price of $20, that means you are paying a premium to play these games. That being said, you should play these games as soon as possible, and why I say that is because you want to get the most value out of your purchase. The issue with buying some of these games is the fact that they can easily go cheaper. They actually have the room to go cheaper. When a game hits like $5 and 75% off for $5, there's really no more room for it to get much cheaper in a lot of instances. I get it that some games will go even lower to $3 or $2, but in the case of a game being $25, oh, there's definitely an opportunity for it to go down to $15, it to go down for $10, and it to even become a PlayStation Plus Essential or Extra title if you're a Plus subscriber, and you might end up kicking yourself. I see comments all the time, especially when we talk about Plus, of people being like, bro, I just bought this game last week for X amount of dollars. Well, you know, it's one thing to pick up a game for $3 to $5, add it to your backlog, or even $10. It's another thing to pick up a game for $25 to $50, add it to your backlog, not play for 6 months, and then all of a sudden it's on sale for $15. You guys get the idea. With that being said, let's get right into it and let's start things off. What a better way to do it than to kick off with the game of the year. Astrobot is 17% off for $49.79. Do I agree with the game-winning game of the year? You know what? My opinion is what it is. Astrobot is a tremendous game, and I know that there was a lot of pushback on the game being $60, it having 12 hours of content or around that range. However, they have dropped quite a few free updates expanding the game and adding more content to the game, free bots as well, or additional bots, I should say. The game is great, and it's one of those games that Sony really didn't have a lot of titles in this platforming area. Now they've got an IP that they can lean on. I know Astrobot's been around for a little bit, Astro's Playroom, and then you had the VR title, but this is a premium, bigger budget title that I think turned out very well. If you're okay with a game that's a little bit smaller in scale, in terms of game length, which I get it, that's important to people having enough content, but for a lot of us, you know, we got a lot of games to play. Sometimes it's nice to have a 12-hour experience that's all killer, no filler, and that's exactly what Astrobot is. For $49.79, I think that's a really great deal. Now for the opposite side of the spectrum, Metaphor ReFantazio is 25% off for $52.49. Now, personally, I think this should have won Game of the Year. That's just my opinion. But you know what? Astrobot's a deserved winner. But Metaphor is fantastic as well. Awesome soundtrack, great story. Combat's well done, a very fundamentally well done turn-based combat system. Characters are likable. $52 is obviously pricey, but the fact is, you're gonna get 80+ hours of content with this game, and you know, it's gonna be worth your money. And it just came out back in October. Like, you shouldn't be expecting games to go that cheap that quickly, but yeah, $52.49 on that. Next up, another game where the price point might be a little bit of a deterrent. Warhammer Space Marine 2 is $52.49. It's 25% off. Ideally, I would have liked to see this at $40 to $45. I think that would have been an absolutely awesome price point. $52.49 is still a decent price, and this is a game that ultimately will get more content. It will continue to expand PvE content, PvP content, and you do have the campaign in there, which was the biggest element that people criticized in terms of the game length. It's a $70 title, campaign's around 8 hours long, but you know what, that's like what's to be expected out of a game like this where the multiplayer is a big focus of it. 8-hour campaigns have been the norm for a long time. I think some people just want a lengthier campaign, which is, you're totally in the right to want that, but I thought the game was great. I often say that it harkens back to the 360 era of shooters, and I say that in the most complimentary way possible. Like, this game is so reminiscent of something like Gears of War 2 from a sheer fun factor and mayhem standpoint. I feel like Space Marine 2 absolutely has that. And for $52.49, it's pricey, but you're gonna get more content updates in 2025, and they just dropped a notable content update as well. I think it's well worth the pickup. Definitely check it out. Alan Wake 2, the base game, 50% off for $29.99. Really solid discount on Alan Wake 2. Now, the Digital Deluxe Edition, to be fair, has been on sale for $40, and that includes the DLC, but if you just want the base game, it's a really good pickup. Now, I have been vocal about my thoughts on Alan Wake 2. It's not a game that resonated with me as much as Alan Wake 1, and I absolutely loved Alan Wake 1, and there's a lot of elements on Alan Wake 2 that I really like. The atmosphere is great, the visuals are stunning. You know, the gameplay is enjoyable. Like, it's a solid game, and fundamentally assessing every element of the game, I think it's well done. It just didn't click with me. Want to give it another playthrough at some point, and probably will do that over the holiday break. But yeah, $30 for Alan Wake 2 is obviously a great buy. There's a reason this game got nominated for Game of the Year in 2023. That and Baldur's Gate 3 were two of the front runners, and a lot of people had Alan Wake 2 as their Game of the Year, so take that for what you will. Cyberpunk 2077, 50% off for $24.99. Now, it has recently pretty much been confirmed that this game will not be getting a PS5 Pro upgrade. I feel like that's a bummer, but it looks good on PS5. It looks really good on PS5, and obviously CDPR did a tremendous job of refining this game with Cyberpunk 2.0. Phantom Liberty is great. This is the base game, so keep that in mind. Phantom Liberty, you will have to buy standalone, you know, whenever you can. That goes on sale usually for like $24. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 is great, and I would definitely recommend it. It's a worthwhile RPG to go through. Would I like to see it a little bit cheaper? Sure. At some point, you know, Cyberpunk will get down to the Witcher 3 price threshold of like $9.99 for the complete edition. That's going to be absolutely insane, but I don't think that's going to happen for quite a while, to be perfectly honest. Next up, Palworld, 25% off for $22.49. Palworld Daybreak, by the time you guys are watching this video, is out, so that is going to be expanding the game quite a lot. You're going to be getting a lot more content, an island, a new island, 6 times the size of the Sakurajima update, and new content. Palworld is already great. The $22 price tag for the game pre-Daybreak is already well worth it. You're getting Daybreak, and you're going to be getting more content updates in 2025. Palworld by 1.0 may be one of the biggest steals that you can come across in gaming. For the level of content that you're getting, the quality of content, it's going to be a tremendous pickup, and this, I think, is just an excellent, excellent price point. Definitely do check it out. $22.49, great deal, and again, more content in 25. Terraria crossover, just a lot of great stuff across the board as far as Palworld is concerned. Next up, No Man's Sky, 60% off for $24. Fitting that same criteria of a game that's just going to get absurd amounts of content updates in perpetuity, No Man's Sky is exactly that as well. This is a game that your boy spent $60 on back in 2016, and it was a train wreck. Hello Games for the last 8 years have totally refined this game, expanded the game, and they've done a tremendous job with it. Now, survival games aren't my cup of tea. It's never going to be a game that I get super, super into. However, you can be objective about it, even if it's not, like, my personal favorite genre. The game, from a value standpoint, is incredible. What Hello Games done is incredible, and hopefully Light No Fire turns out well as well. But pick this up for $24, and you're just talking about a game that's going to pay you back with the free updates as well. So, great stuff there. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, 50% off for $35. You know, from a personal standpoint, because of how much Yakuza has clicked with me, and Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth is probably my game of the year in the sense of, like, emotional attachment, loving Ichiban as a character. If I really mechanically assess it, FF7 Rebirth's probably a better game, Metaphor's probably a better game, but for the Yakuza fans, if you played the other titles, I feel like the impact Infinite Wealth has will lead it to being my favorite game of the year. You guys get what I'm saying? Might be a little bit confusing, but Infinite Wealth was awesome. Obviously, you gotta play the other titles. You gotta play at least Yakuza Like a Dragon, and really, with Kiryu returning as a primary character in this game, you really should play some of the Yakuza games as well. You know, it's just a daunting franchise to get into, man. I get that. I totally get that. But 50% off for $35. It is whack that, you know, Amazon has this $10 cheaper, but y'all already know how it goes with digital versus physical. It is what it is, and can't really do anything about that. But from a content standpoint, an absurd amount of content in this game. You know, you've got Dodonko Island, which I didn't even get into, but people spending hours upon hours into that component of the game. That's the thing with Infinite Wealth. You've got so much content, but you don't gotta do everything. You can pick and choose what you want to do, go through the main story. The main story's great. Not as good as Yakuza Like a Dragon. I will say that from a narrative standpoint, Yakuza Like a Dragon was at such a high level. Infinite Wealth is still awesome, but it's not quite Like a Dragon in my opinion. But nevertheless, $35, great deal there. Dying Light 2, 60% off for $24. This is available on PS Plus Extra now. Love Dying Light 2, thought it was a great game. Did not think it was as good as Dying Light 1, and that seems to be the prevailing thought with a lot of people. But, you know, Dying Light 2 is still very much worth playing. huge open world to explore. The traversal is great. The verticality in this game is so well done. And the exploration, in my opinion, is the best part about Dying Light 2. I think for $24 is a good price. Yeah, this is the Reloaded edition, so you get the first DLC, the Bloody Ties DLC, so you can check that out as well. Sea of Stars is 30% off for $24.49. If you're a Plus subscriber, $22.74 on this. Sea of Stars is a damn good RPG. Very much akin to your JRPGs. Charming story, great cast of characters, great visual style. Recently got a major update as well, and I believe it's getting more content in 2025. So cool to see this game continue to get updated, as well as Chained Echoes. Like Sea of Stars, Chained Echoes, those are two games that kind of came bursting onto the scene over the last few years. Like the last 2 years, I think Chained Echoes was December of 2022, and Sea of Stars was August of 2023, but I feel like they both fit that criteria of these love letters to classic JRPG fans, and they were both great. Sea of Stars definitely worth checking out. Not a steep discount, but this game has been holding up in price, so I would give it a shout. Speaking of love letters to classic JRPGs, Octopath Traveler 2, 50% off for $29.99. Great price on this as well. Another game that's been holding up in price for quite a while, going back to its February 23 release. Really well done turn-based JRPG. Great art style, of course, with the HD 2D look. Great cast of characters. Would definitely give this a look if you're into JRPGs. A lot of people want Final Fantasy to go back to a turn-based route. I don't know how likely that is. I think there's actually a chance the next mainline Final Fantasy could be a turn-based game, but if you want a great turn-based JRPG, Octopath Traveler is a damn good one, so definitely check that out. Speaking of Final Fantasy, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, 50% off for $24.99. I would highly recommend you be familiar with the story of Zack, and what better way than to play the game that tells you the story of Zack. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is a prequel to Final Fantasy VII, and you go through his character arc. It's a fairly short game, to be fair, if you go through the main story, but it's really, really well done. Had a great time with it. Originally a PSP game. Your boy did shed tears during this game on PSP. Back in the day, bro, I was 12 years old. Cut me some slack. It's this game and Walking Dead Season 1. I think those are the only two games that have actually made me shed tears. But yeah, bro, I was 12. My mama gets emotional. I got the genes from her. Don't hate on me. But yeah, I like Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion quite a lot, and for $25, I think that's a pretty good deal. Fate Samurai Remnant, 45% off for $33. In my opinion, one of the most underrated games of 2023. I was blown away by how much I like this game, and really, like, when I think about what I like just, you know, anime aesthetics, Japanese RPGs, the feudal Japan setting, action Musou gameplay. You're marrying all of that into a video game with a great soundtrack as well, a pretty good story. This game was literally like a love letter to me personally. Like, what I like out of my video games, this is it. This game is it. Is it perfect? No, but for what really resonates with me, Fate Samurai Remnant has so many elements that I absolutely love. And you've also got a kick-ass anime opening with this game. Like, they literally made this game for me. They didn't actually, but they literally did. They kind of did. It feels like they did when I played this game. $33 is pricey. I totally get that. But definitely at the very least have this on your wish list, because I think this game is criminally underrated. I'm not even a crazy Fate guy. Like, I've watched Fate Stay Night, the original, and I watched a bit of Unlimited Blade Works. But like Stay Night, I've heard isn't that great from an anime standpoint. Everybody recommends to read the VN, and you know, I just don't have that much of an attachment towards it. I just kind of picked it up on a whim. Loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. Cannot say enough good things about it. $33, hefty price point, but I think well worth it. Tactics Ogre Reborn, 50% off for $24.99. Tactics Ogre originally came out on the PS1, then it got ported to the PSP, and this is an upgraded release of the PSP release. Tactics game, very challenging. I think that is going to push a lot of people away. The challenge in this game is definitely there. It is a rewarding tactics title, but incredibly challenging, and damn near made me break a controller when I played it, so keep that in mind. But if you want your challenging, rewarding tactics games, this is a damn good one at 25 bucks. Helldivers 2, $32 on this, just 20% off, but given that we just got a major update recently with Omens of Tyranny, they're giving out Killzone content, thought this was worth a mention. You know, an awesome co-op action experience if you got a group of friends to play with. That's really how you're going to have the best time with it. $32, good price on that. And then lastly, God of War Ragnarok for the 3 people that don't own it that watch this channel. Great game follow-up to God of War 2018. Obviously play 2018 first, but this is a well-done game, and I did like 2018 better, but Ragnarok is still great, and I didn't even, you know, hate the Atreus sections or whatever. I know a lot of people, at least the people that I talked to, did not like the Atreus sections. I thought they were fine. Valhalla is great as well, and that's just baked into this game. PS5 Pro enhanced on top of that, but that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts. A lot of great deals available as a part of this sale, and all of them in the description box below. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.